All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another episode of God, Greed, and Guile. We're going to go ahead and get right on into it. And I'm just going to talk today, really, guys, about David being just a compulsive scam artist. That is what this life has led David to become. I'm under the firm belief that David wasn't always a compulsive scam artist.
That's right, I said it.
It's almost like he started off as probably with good intentions, right? And David, I'm talking to you, dude. It's almost like you started off with good intentions, David, to be like this good pastor, right? But it's almost like the power and the money and the greed and the women, all that baller life got to your head, David.
Don't call him David.
So here's where we're at, David. I mean, now we're here calling all your bullshit out, right, to the world. You yourself have gone back into hiding. You have kept all your followers in spiritual limbo, right, by lying to them compulsively for the last 30 fucking years of your life, dude. I mean, David.
Don't call him David.
How do you lie like that for 30 years, dude? Honestly, and get away with it. I don't get. We're all sitting back here, right? There's a lot of questions being asked on the channel right now, and I'm seeing you guys' questions, everybody. 1, how is he not in jail? 2, how is this legal? 3, how is his church still on the ground? 4, how do people still believe him? You know, I don't believe him. I don't believe a word he fucking comes out of that guy's mouth. Not one. And anybody that's following David should be questioning him as well. Not just us. Here's the thing, too. I don't want to say I'm like a non-believer, but somebody that doesn't go to church and has their reservations about faith is the one actually calling these pieces of shit out, like David, Catherine Crick. Yeah, there's a couple I'm looking at too right now. Not just David, but we're talking about David today being a compulsive scam artist and a liar. It's almost every lie that comes out of David's mouth is a lie.
Don't call him David.
Or everything that comes out of his mouth is really a lie, guys. The residential center is a lie. Everything he's done with his church is a lie, guys. It's not even Christianity anymore, you guys. It's not even Christianity anymore. It's really gone beyond Christianity. It's gone beyond Jim Jones. It's gone beyond, David Koresh. It's gone beyond Heaven's Gate. I mean, it's just a full-blown... It's a full-blown destructive religious cult, is what it is. It's a sex cult. It is also a sex cult. However, there's not... Check it out, guys. There's human trafficking going on, just not sex trafficking, okay? Big difference. Like, you can have human trafficking and not have sex involved. What? There's crimes being committed here. And we're all sitting back asking these questions that we've all asked. How come he's not he's not been put in prison? 1, the government's too scared to get involved with religion. I've been speaking about that on my channel. Is that the first government and religion? Religion is the cookie jar, and the government, whenever they need a cookie out of the cookie jar, guess who they dip into? Religion. They dip into the church. They're all paid off. Think about it. Private interests, people are being paid off behind the back door of churches and religion, and the government. I'm not dumb. That's not a conspiracy theory. I'm not fucking stupid. My eyes are wide open, guys. But again, about David just being a compulsive scam artist, nobody will get involved is because the government's scared. Need evidence, we're definitely going to need a lot of evidence of the crimes. But David being this compulsive scam artist for the last 30 years, his lies now... David, your lies, my man, are now starting to unfold in front of you. And it's, David, from here it's going to be pretty much a downward, it's going to be a snowball effect for you at this point, David. Because...
Don't call him David.
Social media, right, David, social media is powerful. It's very powerful. And what you've done with it is... You've turned your life into a shitstorm on social media, David. That's what you've done. You've done just that. You've turned your life into a complete shitstorm. There's nothing you can do to fix it. You're trying to copyright my channel right now for some bullshit, right? The copyright, guys, I don't know if it will go through. I don't think it will. Because he's got to go to court to prove copyright infringement. So, once again, David's running. You guys, the amount of scams this guy's running, you could probably count on two hands how many scams he's got running. No bullshit. This guy is all about money. That's it. If you watch his sermons and his YouTube channel and his videos, it's all about money. It's all about David. It's all about getting followers to get more money for David. And there have been people that have come forward and said it's all about money. Give me 1 second here. Just got a text from one of my channel, Lord Pender, actually. My boy who does the David E. Taylor comedy channel. I just got a text message from him. Y'all give him a big shout out. Also follow my channel, David E. Taylor Full Frontal Exposure, where everybody's opinion is a lie. I do weekly uploads there. I've been kind of laying low this week just because I'm taking care of some things in my personal life. But my boy just texted me and asked me which video that I got a claim filed against, and it's one of him and Michelle, and I'm not sure which one because YouTube is real fucking broad about when you get copyright strikes, you know, which video. They tell you what video it is, but they don't let you see which video it is. They take it down before you even get a chance to view it. Like, they don't even lock it or anything. It's really fucking dumb the way YouTube does it. But David is no doubt on a rampage to get my channel taken down because I'm striking chords, no doubt. He is sick, everybody. David's sick. So any of the followers that think he's doing well, he might be saying he's doing well, but in actuality, David's real sick.
Don't call him David.
That's right, I said it.
And the reason he is sick is, one, he's borderline diabetic, if he's not already, okay? He's anemic, and he's also got high cholesterol. David doesn't have high cholesterol. David has hypercholesterol. He took it to a new level, okay? Like, David goes all the way when he does everything. It's like, even he took his health to a whole new level, okay? Being God's homeboy and all this, I mean, he might as well go fucking full force with everything. So David running this scam, you know, right under the government's nose, telling everybody, fuck you, for the last 30 years. Well, no, David, guess what? Fuck you, dude. Your time's up. All you other fucking scammy-ass preachers out there, your guys' time is up. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. You got Creflo Dollar coming out back out of the fucking swamp. Same with Benny Hinn. These guys have done enough damage to people's lives. It's time they're stopped. It's time they're held accountable. It's time that they answer for their lies, answer for the money laundering, answer for the jets, the mansions, you know. Why do they get away with crimes that if we were to commit, we would be in fucking prison? They take your house, car, everything. They take your whole fucking life, the government. They, meaning the government, right? The government would come in and take your whole damn life, right? But you do this all in the name of God and religion. Hey, it's all cool, man. You get away with anything, man. You get away with murder. You can get away with fucking goddamn anything. You can get away with robbing a bank.
That's right, I said it.
Right, David?
Don't call him David.
You can get away with anything, right, Davey boy? Get away with laundering money, fucking lying to people. Get away with fucking laundering money through real estate, mortgage fraud, tax evasion. You know, get away with anything when you throw God in the mix, man. All you gotta say, hey, God told me to do it, and it's all cool.
Don't call him David.
So David, compulsive scam artist, compulsive liar. Anything that comes out of his mouth, anybody, is a fucking lie. Alright? It's all bullshit. Anybody who's listened to his sermons and think he's this charismatic leader, he's full of shit. He's full of shit. There's absolutely no context to his sermons. And again, guys, this has gone beyond Christianity. This is no longer God, religion, Christianity, Catholicism. It is way out in fucking right field now. And that's coming from legitimate pastors that are sitting back watching David with us and be like, yeah, okay, this is not Christianity anymore. No more. So how is this considered a church Christianity, David? You know, when we're sitting back here watching you just destroy people's lives using God, man. Not only that, but you're also sexually manipulating people financially. You're abusing the elderly financially. You know, people are legit laying the fucking possessions at the apostles' feet, man. If you all know what I'm talking about, it's in the book of Acts, I believe. But this asshole, you guys, is taking it way beyond fucking anything. Like, people are signing over their houses to him. I'm not lying about this, man. This is real shit. People are legit signing their houses over to this asshole, David.
David.
Don't call him
Don't
David.
call him David.
Don't call him David. So people are legitimately signing over houses to this guy, man. Huge scam. Now he's scamming the elderly. He really is. So anybody out there that's listening who think David might be scamming one of your elderly parents, or you got a grandmother or some shit, and they're watching David shit, keep a real close eye on their bank account, okay? Keep a real close eye. People ask why we're all here, too. People ask why we're here. They think we're crazy. Some people think I'm fucking crazy. Am I crazy for doing this? Yeah, probably to an extent, but when people are sitting out there asking the questions, why isn't this piece of shit in jail? Well, nobody's fucking reported him to the government. That's why. He's already revoked tax ID numbers from the IRS. The IRS is going to look into this piece of shit. When? Who knows? Hopefully sooner than later. I file fraud against him because I see the fraud going on, and I don't think it's fair that we, the American people, have to sit back while these assholes commit huge white-collar crimes, everybody, taken from your social services, from your federal taxes, everybody. They're fucking footing us with the goddamn bill by doing this shit. And I'm not cool with that. If you are, then don't say shit about it. That's why I speak up about it, is because they're making us foot the fucking bill for all this fucking hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars that they're fucking laundering from the government. Yeah, okay. I'm going to sit back and let them fucking get away with it? No, I fucking pay the shit out of my taxes. People say, oh, there's nothing you can do about it. Bullshit. File fraud against them. I do. I have the fraud reports on my channel description in my YouTube channel. David E. Taylor, Full Frontal Exposure, where everybody's opinion is a lie. Because, I don't know, it's just one of David's saying. But everything on that channel is true. Facts. I just say everybody's opinion is a lie because we come up with some pretty crazy shit sometimes. And, you know, everybody's opinion could be a lie. But when we have survivor testimonies, you know, things like that, and real pastors come forward who have been watching David saying, yeah, this is nothing Christian about this. Nothing. There's nothing biblical. There's nothing religious. There is absolutely no doctrine in what David has been teaching for the last 30 fucking years. And it's only got more extreme the last few. What I think, everybody, is we could be seeing David's final act. What we saw of him recently, everybody, I think that's his final act. I don't think we'll be seeing any more of David anytime soon. I really don't. That's just my opinion. And again, my opinion could be a lie, but given his overall health, okay, which he is in poor health, okay, which he's probably lying to his followers about his health. All right, so anybody listening to this that's one of David's followers, he is sick, okay? So let's just sweep that under the rug. Number 2, he's laundering huge amounts of money, all right? Number 3, he's no doubt hiding from the fucking government. That's something I really think. That there is so much heat on David that he can't fucking shit without us knowing, okay? 4, also the fact, everybody, that he's hiding behind these high walls and high mansions and gated communities, that tells me a whole hell of a lot. Tells me a lot. It tells me a lot that he's scared, and it tells me a lot that he is worried. I mean, if David's this great pastor, right? Check this out, everybody. This is another reason David's a full-blown fucking scam artist preacher. If he's this great pastor, right? Like, he should have been making himself available to everybody through the pandemic, right? People needed a lot of prayers and shit through the pandemic, and he fucking goes and shut away, and he's this great apostle. He used the pandemic almost to his benefit to basically run a bigger scam on his followers, which it looked like it worked. We were talking on my YouTube channel the other night, the group was, and somebody asked, what do you think he brought in over the last couple years? And what I honestly think this asshole scammed out of people, I'm thinking between 30 to 60 million. Just thinking. I could be right. We could be right or wrong. I'm thinking in between there. 30 to 60. At first it was 30 to 50, but I'm sitting here thinking, like, I think 60 is a fair number to top out at. 30 to 60 million. People were desperate through the pandemic. People will fucking pay for anything. Pay for that miracle. Pay for that hope. Pay for that prayer that might bring their loved one back from the dead. Because David does claim he can bring people back from the dead, which is all fucking lies, right? So now we have a necromancer on the scene. Okay? So David is saying he can bring people back from the dead. That is legitimate necromancy, okay? So he's now a warlock or some shit. So, I mean, again, David, if you're this great healer, listen up, buddy. I'm talking to you, you sack of shit. If you're this great healer, David, all right, why weren't you out healing people through the pandemic and through COVID? You're a pastor. You should out of all times, this is the one time you should have made yourself available to anybody and everybody. Instead, you go into fucking shutaway where you claim to be doing God's work, but you're buying up fucking huge properties all over the place. How is that shutaway, David? You bought Nellie's mansion, okay? You bought that shithole. It's like David, it really is. David's buying these really trashy ass mansions that have like some kind of like historical significance to it, but they're really shithole mansions, you know? I mean, the amount of money, if anybody owns the type of house that David's moving into, you know what it takes to keep those houses up. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. I mean, Nellie's mansion, you know, they kind of bought it and it sounds like they bought it and just abandoned it pretty much. It's just sitting there now. No, they had a bunch of rain and water up there. I'm sure that fucking pool is full of water. Oh man, they probably got a fucking mess up at Nellie's mansion, everybody. And yes, Nellie's mansion, the rapper, Nelly, yes, that's the mansion they bought, okay, up in Wildwood, Missouri. 17329 Hidden Valley Drive. That's the address for it. It's an absolute dump. I mean, I could see why they bought it. They bought it just because Nelly owned it. And you can look it up on YouTube. Anybody can find that mansion on YouTube, and there's like walkthroughs of it. And look at the most recent walkthrough. There's no carpet. It's all the way down to the subfloor, the wall. I mean, that place is going to need a lot of fucking work, man. And I've talked to sources in this who are actual contractors. Showed them pictures, all kinds of things. Talked to them about it, concerns, you know, comments, everything with that regarded that project, that purchase, right? Even with just the pictures on the internet that were available, the contractors that I put the information out to said, yes, this is going to cost a lot of money and about $2 million to fix up that house. That's what it's going to cost. So David's scamming money to buy these mansions. So he's lying about being in Shutaway, but he's still scamming money, okay? Right? This is where it gets, this is why David is a fucking scam artist, okay? He claims to be a pastor, goes into Shutaway during the worst time in the world where people are like need like prayers and shit like that, goes into Shutaway, scams money, doesn't show his face for 2 fucking years, comes out from being sick and hiding, says he wasn't sick or anything or on his deathbed, but bullshit, you're a liar, David. We know you're sick, okay? Then says he needs to go tend to God. Yeah, let that sink in for a minute. Yeah. I had to rewind that too when I heard him say that. I'm like, I don't think God needs you to tend to him. More like fucking, it's you need God in your life, David. God doesn't need you tending to him. I promise you that, dude. Guaranteed, 100%. You are not the fucking master fucking... you're not the... you're not Master P, David. You're not the master, dude. And for you to even pretend like that you know what God's plan is, that's sacrilege in and of itself, dude. I mean, come on. Get over yourself. You think you ultimately know God's master plan and you don't, David. You think you're one-on-one with God. No, everybody's got their own fucking relationship with God. What you're doing with it is just, you're just manipulating it using people's own spiritual experience, saying, oh, it was you, and God led you to David E. Taylor, and all this other bullshit. Everybody, David's cult is a forced labor cult, okay? It is a forced labor cult. It is a sex cult. It is a money laundering cult. It is there's all different types of dynamics to it. Human trafficking is going on. This is real shit, guys. This is real shit. It's very real. David is, again, and I believe what we're seeing here is David's final act. I believe we may not see him again now. He's hiding behind all these big mansions now. We're keeping a close eye on him. A lot of us are. And the thing is, anybody living down in Lutz, Florida, in the Avila Country Club, in that big-ass gated community, there's a Jim Jones-style cult living in your back fucking yard. I'm not lying to you about this. I will not lie to you about this. You guys need to be careful, because this man by the name of David E. Taylor,
Don't call him David.
he's already scamming your vendors. Okay? I guarantee you he is scamming the people there already. And anybody not careful is going to get scammed by this asshole.
That's right, I said it.
And that's what David E. Taylor thinks about it. That's what he thinks about it, everybody. If y'all want to follow my channel, check it out on YouTube, David E. Taylor Full Frontal Exposure. There's a little disclaimer, there's absolutely nothing sexual about the channel. I've never used any kind of sexual terms or anything like that, sexual derogatory terms by genitalia, anything like that. I do cuss there, though, which you've heard me on here is about the same over there. Maybe a little more heated sometimes. Check my channel out over there. I put a lot of content.
That's right, I said it.
Put a lot of content up over there. Just to keep people informed about this asshole. One at a time. People want me to move on to other cults after this, and I'm all for it. Got a couple in my mind. I'm not too sure which one, but after David is done, I definitely need to take a break. Alright? Because I've been going on this for about 1.5 years now. Dealing with this asshole. Trying to bring awareness to what he's doing to people. Using religion. It's a cult, guys. This is not religion anymore. I'm working on setting up an interview with somebody, and once I've been given permission to kind of give a short disclaimer about what a short bio about what's going to go on with that interview and who it is, I will put a short video out on my YouTube channel and let everybody know what kind of the gist of the interview. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. I just wanted to do a quick short here, kind of just let everybody know, hey, David's a compulsive scam artist. He's not a priest. He's not a pastor. He's not an apostle. He's not a prophet. He is a full-blown compulsive lying scam artist. He's using religion. He's using religion to scam everybody. That's it. That's it. I urge everybody to print out a fraud report from my channel. All right. I have a Google link set up in there. It is a like a Google Dropbox. That way they're pre-filled. I will never see who fills them out. Okay? And you have to send them into the IRS. You have to snail mail them. People wonder why this asshole hasn't been arrested. Why? Because nobody's reported him for tax fraud yet. I am. And so are some of the subscribers on my channel. Not all of them. But if everybody did, you know what would happen? David would go to jail.
That's right, I said it.
David would go to jail. That's what would happen. Because David has actually sent me a cease and desist and told me to try to silence me. To have the way opposite effect. I mean, yeah, he's dealing with some really fucked up people, like attorneys and shit like that, but I'm not scared of these people. I'm not scared of these guys. They're not going to scare me, but they don't fucking pay their taxes. I do. That's the big difference here. David doesn't pay his taxes. I do. I know he's laundering money. I'm not. He's not going to take me to the system he's very well defrauding and try and fight me in a legal battle. David's fought too many legal battles in his day. It's almost like every few years David's fighting a legal battle. I dare him to fight a legal battle with me. He would lose. David would lose. Too much of a scam going on. David, he really is. David's setting himself up for a RICO case, everybody. David's setting himself up for a RICO case. Nobody if you don't know what that is, it's federal. It's the federal money laundering court, basically, for racketeering, things like that. Racketeering, money laundering, investment fraud, mortgage fraud. It's when you're committing really big white-collar crimes. I mean, in the long run, you get pennies on the dollar. You don't get a lot back in money. That's the shit thing about these cases. I mean, just the way it works, guys. It sucks. But y'all have a good day. Have a great week. And if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, by all means, check my channel out on YouTube, David E. Taylor Full Frontal Exposure. And you got any questions? I put a lot of content out there. You want to see who the guy is that's talking? You can see my face over there, because I make a very public appearance about this asshole, because if you're paying your taxes, you should be worried about this guy.